fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man, given a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. Now I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council. Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
Is he? Is he? My title for this hour is Pop Off Friday. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's Friday, 88 degrees, 15% chance of rain. Humidity is at 39%. Winds. They don't even tell the direction of the winds and where it's from now. I think because of Maui, we should probably be telling people from what direction the wind is coming from. But I digress. It's 88 degrees. Looks like it's going to be partly cloudy into the evening. There's some expected rain, but we don't know yet. There's a weather alert for southeastern Wisconsin. Anyway, southeastern Wisconsin. And looks like the low, it doesn't give a low. Anyway. All right. I'm on it. So I'm going to read some things to you. And I want you to tell me what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think ahead of time. And then I want to hear, what do you think? Because I read an article. And it's in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. It's an article by Tom Dakin from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. It was written at 12:10 and then updated at 1:56 today. It says the developer of a planned Milwaukee hotel would have the deadline for a city loan extended for a third time under new proposal. So here's my question, right? Well, no, let me stop. Kaylin Haywood Sr. is facing a September deadline to begin repaying a $3.79 million loan used to pursue the planned conversion of a historic former Sears store, 2100 West North Avenue, into an 80-room Icon Hotel and Conference Center. Haywood's investment group, HG Sears LLC, would have until September 2024 to begin those payments under a proposal to be reviewed Thursday by the City Redevelopment Authority's board. Now, that proposal marks the third time Haywood has asked to extend the loan's deadline. It previously was extended to September 2022 and again to September 2023. Haywood couldn't be immediately reached for more information on the development status. A statement from Mayor Cavalier Johnson's Department of City Development said the site's future is important to Milwaukee's equitable growth. The statement also said Haywood has made significant progress on the development plan. It said, with this progress, the project needs additional time to finalize its financing package. The loan, to be paid off over 15 years, received approval from the Common Council and then Mayor Tom Barrett in 2019. The loan proceeds help pay for buying the property, as well as interior demolition, asbestos removal, architectural fees, utilities, insurance, and property taxes. But other renovations were delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic's effects on the hotel industry, Haywood has said. The Common Council and Barrett also approved a second $5 million loan for the Icon project, with council members saying the potential benefits outweigh the risk. Haywood cannot use that loan until the project's other financing sources have been tapped. And then it's added, an earlier version of this article mistakenly said the loan extension requires Common Council and mayoral approval. So with that being removed, why in God's name are we reading this article? Like, what is this about? Like, why was it even written? So, a third extension. I have it on good authority that the Modern took 10 years to build. And the Couture building, God knows we know that monstrosity, took 8 years to build. Not to mention a trolley and all this other garbage that's going on around in the city. So I asked the question, why is this article being written? No, I did not reach out to Tom Dakin. No, I did not reach out to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. And let me be perfectly clear and open. As someone who purports to be a journalist or work in journalism or even media entertainment should be. I know Caitlin Haywood Sr. We are Prince Hall Masons together. So with that being said, I've known him for at least 15 years, maybe 20. Here's my issue with the story. It doesn't matter who Caitlin Haywood is. What matters is that Black developers in the city of Milwaukee seem to be getting hammered about things that are inconsequential. Here you are moaning about a third extension when it took 8 years for this idiotic Couture building to get built because the mayor wanted it. Took 10 years for the Modern to get built. And they had issues too. You didn't complain about them. And if you did, show me. I'll be glad to apologize. I'll say I'm sorry in advance. We're trying to make this city better. Now, here's the flip side. Hey, City of Milwaukee, development folks, across the street where the city owns like 8 or 10 of those properties that are just sitting there, let's sell those and build up the community as well. Don't wait for the hotel to show up. City, handle your business. Caitlin Haywood will handle his business. And maybe, just maybe, the Journal-Sentinel will handle their business. Why do I say that? Well, let me read you an article from July 27th, 2022. It's from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. To better serve our Milwaukee community, we must continue hiring diverse, talented journalists. For the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel to succeed, we must have an inclusive and diverse workplace where employees are valued and feel empowered. We committed to building and sustaining a workforce that is reflective of the diversity in the communities we serve. Then editor George Stanley said, it is important to have journalists and newsroom leaders with life experiences and backgrounds that help us understand the needs of the people we serve. But it is the job of each of us to listen and learn how we can best find answers to your most pressing and important questions, said editor George Stanley. As part of our commitment to an inclusive culture, we are annually publishing the makeup of our news staff. That same commitment is being carried out across the USA Today network, which is made up of more than 200 local publications and USA Today. This information is a snapshot of July 1st, includes the gender and racial makeup of our news workforce and our coverage area, as well as managers in our newsroom. So this year, this is 2022, July 27th, the Journal-Sentinel's newsroom is 75% white, 11.1% Black, 2.8% Asian, 6.5% Hispanic Latino, and 4.6% two or more races. Among managers, 76.5% white, 17.6% Black, 5.9% Hispanic Latino. According to the American Community Survey, by the U.S. Census Bureau, the Milwaukee area is 69.8%. So you trying to match the city, I think, is irrelevant if you have good, well-trained journalists. That's one. Number two, you didn't tell me what those managers do. For instance, who are the editors that edit the stories that Tom Dakin writes? Because if they add things into the story or edit it to make it salacious, as I'm sure they've done in the past, guess what? It doesn't matter who wrote the doggone article. So it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a Latino or an Asian or black or white. You're going to edit the article and make it what you want to make it anyway. I would prefer you break down who are the managers. Do they manage housekeeping and cleaning and maintenance? Or do they manage reporters on significant beats like City Beat, politics, City Hall, right? Because those are the things that impact the large number of minorities that are in the city of Milwaukee. And believe it, if you add up the Hispanic, the Asian, and the Black community, there are more of us than there are of whites. But yet somehow your newsroom, your staff, and your managers don't reflect that. And it's unfortunate, but it shows in your articles. It shows in what you write. It shows in what you do. And it's unfortunate that we would have to sit here and listen to you badger somebody who asked for an extension a third time when there was no grief given to the Modern and no grief given to the Couture building. And it took 8 and 10 years to build. So when we talk about whether or not there's equity and fairness, if we're going to start, let's start with who's running the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. And I've heard, and I think in the past, I may have even spoken to Greg. Is it Borkowski? And I've watched and read some of the things he's written. And I believe he's a fair and he's a balanced guy. So I would challenge him to have him come on my show. And let's talk about some of the things that are in your newspaper that are detrimental to the Black community. Because I'm going to tell you, if I was Kaylin Haywood and I was doing what he was doing and you treated me the way you treat me, I would move out the city and take my money with me. There's no reason to stay here. You have people here fighting and working, and Kaylin Haywood isn't the only one that's here fighting and trying to build the community up. But my question is this: why don't you go after some of these white developers that take money and run? Why don't you go after some of the white politicians? Why is it everything we do has to be perfect, and everything white politicians and other people do, we have to forgive? But that's what happens when we use our own Christianity against us. But then again, hey, that's why it's Pop-Off Friday.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, this is Sherwin Hughes, and we want you to join us for our inaugural Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 12th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School in Milwaukee. We're bringing the community together for a family festival that will have something for everyone. There will be live music, delicious food, financial resources, healthcare resources, and free haircuts for the kids.